morning, everyone. Greg Smith, Admin's the Answer. Hope you are all well. I'm very excited this morning. I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman, Miles Primrose, in a second. Miles and I have an extremely common thread in that we love helping trades and builders, businesses succeed. So my business, Admin's the Answer, certainly looks after all of what we collectively call the noise of a business, being all of their admin. And Miles's business, a business site, definitely helps them take the next steps as they wish. Miles, good morning.
Good morning, and it's been a while since I've been called a gentleman, but thank you for that.
You're welcome. I don't use those comments lightly, so it's all good. Miles, I'm going to introduce you to our audience today. So Miles, with decades of experience doing what he does, and we're going to get deeper into that today, but essentially working with trades and builders across Australia and New Zealand. That would be right, Miles?
Absolutely, and when you say decades of experience, I mean, I suppose that's where the silver fox hair comes from. So, yeah, look, I started my experience of actually working with trades first happened in 93 till 95. Mm-hmm. I was in New Zealand for 2 years, and my project management experience working on commercial sites was there for a couple of years. I've literally going to the site and there's a new supermarket that's about to be built. My job was to actually work with the project manager of that particular job and actually get it to open on time, because every site I got sent to, funnily enough, was actually running behind time on the project timeline. Mm-hmm. So my responsibility as a 23-year-old then was to actually get the project to run on time, make sure that the project was actually on or as close to its budget, get everybody to work together. So that was the first bit of experience working with trades 20 years ago.
Well, that's more than just an apprenticeship at 23, isn't it? That's one of those, let's throw him in the deep end with one concrete boot on and see how fast he can dog paddle. So nice introduction to the trades business, I'm sure, and how all of that works, given your project management skill in the past. So it opened up on time. That was a pleasing result, I'm sure.
Oh, look, there was a few to follow after that, but I believe getting them to open on time was what they wanted, but me losing 4 years of sleep in the process was not something that they were too concerned about.
No, I understand. So tell me, did business site, your business now, come out of that? Was it derived from that? Was that the thinking? Was it that 23-year-old experience that drove you to creating business site? Where did it come from?
So business site started 18 years ago, and that actually came from the fact that I had a few high-level management roles between that 10-year period. Mm-hmm. And when you get asked to leave a lot of jobs you've had because you have an opinion and you don't fit into the boys club, you've got to think about, okay, what's next? Mm-hmm. And I actually paid a mentor at the time then $500 an hour to actually help me work out what would be the next step for me.
Right.
And he said, okay, do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. And the last job I had, where I actually literally got asked to leave, I drove home and I stopped at I parked across from a residential building site. Mm-hmm. And I looked at that and I had the light bulb went off, and I thought, well, what am I really good at and who's not? Mm-hmm. And to me, it's about helping people with their business financial model. It's about helping them see the big picture and then helping them work out the steps to get there, because there's a lot of people actually know where they want to get to, but they're not sure actually how to get there.
Yeah.
So then I went home that day. I had a look on the Australian Bureau of Stats. I looked at how many plumbers there are, how many electricians, how many builders, and so on. Then I phoned up a few mates that are trades and asked them questions about their business and margins and that type of stuff. And then 18 years ago, that was me. There was a guy in Sydney who does a similar thing. There was somebody across the other side of Australia. So there was 3 people helping trades and builders 18 years ago. My goal then was to create the most comprehensive business program for trades and builders. That was the vision at the time. And as of today, we've got 41 amazing specialists in the program. And it's not about just having 41 amazing specialists. All the presenters are actually, it might take them 2 months to get on board. And it's not just because I'm a pain in the ass with them, but I want to make sure that the people that deliver to my clients do an exceptional job.
Yep.
So that's the medium-sized answer to your question.
Yeah, well, those sort of things we can spend an hour on, can't we? Given our experience, and we're not going to talk about admin's the answer in detail today. That's for another interview, but not a dissimilar stage, if you like, about seeing an opportunity to help these trades and builders out there, because we just know how busy they are, and there's plenty of them that need help. So we talked a little bit. You're covering Australia and New Zealand. Is it just trades you look after, Miles?
So it's trades and residential builders. So look, I suppose the main people that come to us are plumbers, electricians, carpenters, residential builders, and also light commercial builders.
Yep.
Obviously, we help the other trades as well. So the finishing up trades, we've got landscapers and painters and so on.
Yep.
So people that are within the building industry. So I have had some people come to me through a referral for somebody else in the last couple of months, and not actually within that pool of people. And I've had to direct them towards somebody else because we help trades and builders, and that's it.
Yeah, and there's plenty of those fish in the sea, aren't there?
Absolutely.
What do you find? Is there a common thread that those trades and builders come to you with, and why they've reached out to you in the first place, or are they also very, very different? And then obviously you tailor your service accordingly.
So there are some things which they come to us about, which are, I suppose, the right now things. That could be around money, that could be cash flow profit. Some people say, look, we don't need to talk to you at the moment, we're busy, but when you look at that, they could actually be busy with the wrong clients.
Yep.
The other thing also is, a thing that's actually happening right now is there's a lot of trades and builders that are busy, but they're being propped up by a false financial sense of security, as in the grants.
Right.
So what I say to people is, I spoke to a builder a couple of weeks ago. He said 18 months ago, he wasn't getting the work that he wanted at the price he wanted. His mindset wasn't the best, and he wasn't making the right money. He said now he's happy. He said he's got work booked up for the next 9 months. He's charging a good amount. And I said, all right, all this has come about because of the grants. What's your strategy in 9 months' time? I said, it's actually going to be harder in 9 months' time, probably than it has been for the last 6 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got their extension done.
Yeah.
Everybody's used the grants.
Yes.
It's almost going to be switched off.
There's no one left.
Yeah. So the two things that we help people with, which they're not asking for, is actually helping them for what's going to happen in the future.
Yep.
And also clearer direction, because clearer direction is actually not a right now thing. And what people want is normally right now things: money, sales, and also team members. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. So what size businesses? We mentioned plumbers, sparkies, etc. Do we go all the way down to a sole trader and all the way up to, full residential builder who may have, part of those trades already in his network?
So look, there's three levels to the program that we offer there. The first level is for people that have been in business for 4 years or less, and they need to get the base or the fundamentals actually set up the right way.
Yep.
The next level is for people that are heading towards $1 million turnover, and for them it's a bit more about structure from a people point of view. And then you've got the businesses that are heading they're over $1 million and towards about 16 million. And for them, it's about actually creating a business that's actually not reliant on them in a true commercial sense. They've got a personalized cloud-based system that is accessible by different levels. So whether it's the office or people on the tools or that type of thing. So there's 3 different options depending on the size of the business and what stage it's at in its life.
Okay, so this is not a one-size-fits-all program, is it?
Absolutely not. And look, I have had a roof plumber come back to me that we helped 10 years ago, and he's come back in the last 2 months. Anyway, he signed up, and he got inducted into the program. And that's another thing also, is that when we help people, it's not just about signing them up. We spend probably about 2 weeks inducting them so they actually know how everything works.
Mm-hmm.
He called me up the next day, and I said, we don't have a call booked till next week. What's going on? He said, I want to give you some feedback on the amount of content you've got in the back end. I said, sure. Is there anything you need added? He said, no. It looks like it's on bloody steroids.
Nice comment. Nice comment.
So he was absolutely blown away by the amount of content that's in there. So
yeah, awesome.
And he said it's really easy to use. So yeah, so that was a pretty good pat on the back, I suppose.
100%, 100%. And I think that's worth reinforcing to the audience, Miles, that this is not a one size fits all. So don't think as a trade or builder that you're coming into a program to going, oh, they're just going to take me through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because, you know, I'm a trade business owner and Miles owns a business coaching business. It's so much more than that, so much more. So if they ever thought that they were just going to get this document to say, well, this is the same document everyone gets and I'll just follow the steps 1, 2, 3, it's certainly quite the opposite to that. Would that be a fair comment?
Absolutely. And I suppose, look, if different people have got different outcomes, it's not all about money, I suppose. Some people have got an outcome where they want to build a better team. Some people want to close more deals. Some people want to work on the office. Some people want to understand money. So what we do is when they actually start, we ask them, what's the one thing that you actually want to focus on straight away?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you've got a tradesperson that actually they've got leads, but they actually want to convert those leads better.
Yep.
So then we'll actually send them to the resources that actually can help them with that particular problem.
Yep.
So literally within 24 hours, they're actually starting to work on that problem and turn it around straight away.
Yeah. That problem that's been keeping them awake for perhaps years. With the trade business owners that I talk through our own business, their stress levels and their unknowns, and I don't know who to reach out to, has potentially been going on for years. And you just told the audience that, within 24 hours, there can be some answers to those things that have been jumping around in their head for just way too long.
Yeah.
So specifically, some of the benefits that you do see business owners getting from business site.
So one of the key things is that, of course, we only help trades and builders. And I know there's some other people out there that actually help trades and builders, but they might also help a dress shop and a milk bar and that type of thing. So we only help trades and builders. Now, the benefit of that is we get to understand your problems more easily, and we actually have solutions for those problems, which we'll be able to deliver to you sooner. That's the first thing.
Yep.
The other thing also is with the group of specialists, we've got 41 at the moment, and I would say that would actually grow over the next 12 months. And it's not about actually having 41. It's about actually having 41 people that are very, very good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And a good chunk of those 41 people are actually there just for the building industry.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing.
Have you got an example of someone that's in that 41 group, Miles, just for the audience?
Yeah, look, I get some people that actually, when I go through the program with some prospects, and I'll say that we've got the financial days and marketing and so on, and they say, I've already got a good accountant. And I say, that's great, excellent. Mm-hmm. The accountancy firm that actually talks in the program, they actually work with some of the families in the top 500 rich list in Australia.
Right.
So, and I don't want to be disrespectful to other people that have got a good accountant. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, look, be open and actually listen to what these people have got to say.
Mm-hmm.
And there could be something that they could actually offer.
Yep.
The guy that goes through the safety side of things, he actually has advised the Victorian and Queensland government on things to do with the safety side of things. So these are some pretty great people from an experience point of view. So it's not just a matter of actually finding some people and putting them in the program. It's about actually vetting these presenters to make sure that they're the very, very, very best.
Yeah. And
I suppose the other two things are the community and the support. So there's a private group where people can actually ask questions of the others in the group. And that's, they love that. From a support point of view, look, there's online support, there's offline support, there's weekly calls every Monday morning, there's 6 weekly reviews, there's a massive closed group, there's recordings of all the presenters, people can contact the presenters, no matter how they can email them, phone them. To me, if somebody's serious about actually turning their business around, how fast they do it is literally up to how committed they are, because the support's there.
Yeah, I understand. I want to reinforce that part. Secondly, about the community and support factor. The listeners, I think, will nod their head in the north-south direction when I make the comment to say owning a trade or building business can be at times a very lonely place. And some guys and girls who got into the industry and chose their own way or path and got their own ABN because they were good at the trade, perhaps were not knowing all of what's required to run a successful business. And that's when the stress turns up, that's when the anxiety levels just go through the roof. And oh my God, what am I doing here? I'm a great tradie, but oh my God, what's going on with this whole business thing? Sales manager, marketing manager, HR manager, accountant, bookkeeper, the whole shebang. And it can be, and I know this from my own experience, a really lonely place. And particularly if your partner isn't necessarily business acumen either. So you just don't have anyone to talk to. So I can't reinforce that community and support factor. If nothing else, you get to ask a fellow tradie a question. A guy out there on his own just doesn't have that opportunity. Huge. All right, we talked about some of the common areas that you help people with. I noticed that there's things like on your acumen, things like building the team or making the business less reliant on you. Can you explore that less reliant conversation a bit more with us, Miles? What does that mean?
So most, a lot of trades and builders out there, that it doesn't matter what size their business is, a lot of the information is actually still inside their head. Or they might say, the customer wants to talk to me and only me. Or it could be that with some people, I need to finish that job off myself, or I need to actually check to make sure that job's done properly. They're probably the main common answers that come from that. So making the business less reliant on them could be a variety of things. It could be actually documenting standards. And this is something that I talk about with people that are in any of the 3 levels of the program. What I say is, okay, when you go to hire an apprentice, or it could be qualified, and you've actually given that person a task to do, and you come back and they actually haven't done that task the way that you would actually like them to do, I would actually say to the business owner, where are the documented standards? And they'll look at me and say, what are you talking about? I said, well, you've told them to do X. Now they've listened to you, but there's nothing visually they can see as an example. There's no video for them to actually look at from a training point of view. There's nothing actually written down. So they're actually just listening to you, trying to do what they think is best based on what you've told them. So that's the very first thing, is documenting standards for people from an operational point of view and on the tools point of view. And we do go through the entire business and documented standards across the entire business. So that's the very first thing. For the larger turnover businesses, is actually going through a complete roadmap of the business and actually mapping out a cloud-based system. That could actually take a few months.
Mm-hmm.
But once that's done, the business owner can go on holidays and knowing that people can actually check into that cloud-based tool for answers.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Dare I suggest that when a trade business owner goes down that road, they may actually be able to take holidays.
Come on. No.
Dare I suggest it to the audience, but goodness me, that sounds like we take them down that road and the business is less reliant on you having to be in the business every day. And blimey down, you could even take an afternoon off, take the kids down the beach. Wouldn't that be extraordinary?
They're going to be walking around wondering what they should be doing.
and in all seriousness, that's a different place, I'm sure, that the business owner, even if he would like to be there, when he is there or moving in that direction, that's a huge, it can even be a mental challenge for someone who's, been running his business for multiple years, in it every day, and it's just become, verbatim, that's how he runs a business. And all of a sudden we're saying, hey mate, you don't have to be on site this morning. Remember all that work we've done with your team? They'll be okay. Like, go and do something else. Go down the coffee club and get yourself a smashed avo and a cappuccino. That is a seriously challenging thought for a trade business owner to have. Would you agree?
I'm just thinking about the smashed avo and the coffee. So they do that in Queensland, do they?
Yes, they do. They do. It is my personal favourite. So yeah, I'll put my hand up for that. But it is a huge challenge for them to be not in the business every day. I think they would all like to be, have the business less reliant on them, but just don't have that roadmap on how to get there, which is something obviously you can provide for them.
Yeah, and look, making the first step is the actual hardest step, because I get so many people that actually come to inquire about joining up, I suppose, and some people join up, some people aren't suitable, some people are suitable, but they rush off because they've been reactive and they've got to actually fix something or do something and put out a fire. And yeah, so it's good to see that when we do help people and we've actually fixed some of these, they've invested a little bit of time to create a long-term solution, that I sometimes get a text or a phone call saying I should have done that 5 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. Miles, have you ever knocked anyone back?
A few people.
Yeah. And we're not going to name names here. We don't want website names or anything. A little bit of a comment as to why, because not everyone is going to grab this with both hands and run with it, but it would be the absolute minority, I'm sure.
It's normally because I find that some people want a quick fix. Some people want, they think that they can get somebody to actually do everything for them.
Yep.
Where it's not like a campaign to generate leads. This is about actually changing their whole business and improving their entire operation.
Yeah.
And the other thing is also people probably with the wrong attitude.
Okay. Yeah.
But people need to be, I suppose, open to listening, to looking at different ways, and taking a small step each week. It doesn't have to be massive, but if they can actually put aside a few hours a week, that's going to get them started.
Yeah. It's progress, isn't it? It's the old analogy, how do you run a marathon? Well, you just got to take the first step, don't you? And then you take one after that, and you take one after that. But if you walk backwards, you ain't going to get there. I agree. What do you love about, deep down, what do you love about what you do?
Look, there's a lot of things and this is in no order, I suppose. One thing is making sure that what I offer is very, very comprehensive, so that and organised as well. I don't want them to actually be a lot of information and people say there's too much. I want them to actually come on board and actually see there's a lot of information. It's actually easy to find what they need. and it's very useful and easy to use.
Yep.
The other thing is keeping in touch with people from that I helped maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And there's, I know there's an electrician that did this program in 2009 with him and his mate. He's now got 26 full-time electricians on board.
Awesome.
They're all employees, not subbies.
Wow.
There's a roof plumber that went from his first year as a sole trader, turned over 80 grand. He's now 6 years later turned over 4.65. So that's not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
And there's another electrician that's actually came to see me a bit over 10 years ago. He's actually now got a multi-million dollar contract with the mines.
Right.
And he's actually making products that are literally going to be sold in America and so on.
Wow.
So going to the other extreme, there's some, you hear a story about builders that go bust from time to time.
Yeah.
Because they don't know their numbers and that type of stuff. So there's a builder that actually phoned me up one day and he said, "I've got to thank you." I said, "That's cool. What for?" And he said, you prevented me from going bankrupt."
Wow.
And that was because he said your mindset, he said, your mindset's like steel. He said, there's only one way for you allowing us to go. And he said, that's forward. So to me, I actually put that above all the other ones. Like, to me, if you can actually prevent somebody from doing that and them holding their family together, that's probably the number one thing.
Yeah, I can so relate, and that makes the hairs stand up on the back of my head with the thought that, you know, you've made that such an impact. This is not just about running a successful business. This is about having a successful life. So there is so much more to it. A nice segue, Miles. How would someone reach out to you? What's the process if they're listening in, going, "Oh, I'd like a little piece of that action," or "Yeah, I've been contemplating this type of help and I definitely think I need it"? What would how do we get in touch?
So there's a couple of ways they can call. So the phone number is 1300-1-TRADE, ironically. So 1300-187-233.
Yep.
Or the website, there should be a contact form on the website, which is businesssight, sight.com.au. And if you end up posting somewhere, there might be a booking link above the video somewhere as well. So there are 3 ways. And look, initially, it's a 10 or 12-minute phone call to see if there's a potential fit. And after that, if there is, well, then we go on to a quick video call.
Yeah, and I will put all of those links at the bottom of this video. So when you're finished watching, scroll down, click on it. And I would suggest, if you were even thinking, 5% thought that you in your business need some help from someone who's got a wealth of experience and is obviously helping trades be a better business and, you know, be a better person at the same time, I would most definitely recommend you reach out and have that chat with Miles. Miles, any last commentary? We have covered so much. This has been fantastic.
Look, you've asked me a lot of great questions, and look, if they want to be as good a business they are at their trade, I know how cool.
Awesome. All right, we're going to leave it there. Audience, I hope there's some gold nuggets in there for you somehow, somewhere. 100%. You won't remember all of it. Replay it if you don't, but there's some gold nuggets in there. And I would encourage you, as I said before, reach out to Miles, have a chat. If nothing else, it's going to cost you 15 minutes of your time, as Miles has suggested, and you just never know where that could take you. Miles, thank you for your time.
Thanks,
much appreciated, and we will talk soon.